Hi, my name is Adrienne, and this is my Module 5 Circuit Creation presentation. So this whole assignment, project, whatever you want to call it, was really designed around the engineering process, where students were identifying a problem and then ultimately planning and creating and then improving upon that. And I will apologize, unfortunately, I did have a student meltdown right at the beginning of this, so I didn't get all of the pictures and whatnot that I needed to get in order to show it. But I do apologize. It is the end of the year, and this is my life right now. So as far as the planning and creating, what I was able to get when I came back in after my co-teacher was working with my kids, they were in the process of kind of using what they knew from the background that we gave them about insulators and conductors and their purposes and whatnot. And they were trying to figure out exactly how this would all work. So you can see some groups, despite taking the insulator dough, chose not to use it at first, but rather stick with the conductor dough, just because obviously the conductor dough is going to be where the electricity is going to come from. Whereas other groups started with the insulator dough and kind of paid a lot more attention to the insulator dough than the conductor dough. And this just led to a lot of questioning. I know in one of the books, off the top of my head, I cannot remember which one, but it really talked about how we need to be, as teachers, popping around, jumping in and out of groups and kind of working right alongside them as they're doing it and using those as teachable moments. And that's kind of what I've been doing within my math lessons, and now I'm working into putting it, throughout my entire day. So I was popping in and out of groups, asking them questions like, well, what does a conductor do? What does an insulator do? Like, let's recall, and whatnot, just to kind of help guide them as well. So that ultimately, yes, they're coming to that conclusion, but they're coming to that conclusion because I'm kind of giving them a little steering directional use. So that was that. And then obviously the students tested it with one battery. I did have to walk around with it, so it was a little bit difficult with that. But overall, the kids were very patient and did a great job of, working together and just waiting. But you can see we started with just the light, and then it turned into, can I get the lights going? Can I get the beeper going? They were really wanting to see how many things that they could turn on at once, which was very loud and very bright after a while. And then I do have two videos. I'm actually not going to play them just because I've noticed through the screencast it is difficult to hear the volume on them. But I will post my PowerPoint into the discussion board so that you are able to click on it then yourself and kind of listen to a discussion or an explanation from a group about how they solved a problem when it wouldn't work, kind of what they did to kind of change it. And then obviously as the kids experimented more, it turned into a whole group. Let's put all the different colors of lights, let's add the buzzer, and let's see if we can make them all go off at once. So I thought it was just fun to kind of add that as well. So how this incorporates into our STEM practices, obviously developing and using models. They were using the circuit as a model. Constructing explanations for how it worked and why it worked a certain way but didn't work a different way. And overall just evaluating and communicating their information. And one of the biggest ones I was really looking at for them to do was make sense of the problem and persevere in solving it. They have no knowledge of circuits. This was like the first run. And for them to kind of stick with it when they weren't quite getting it was really amazing to see, especially this late in the year. So overall, as far as the lesson checklist, I didn't necessarily give them a real world problem. So looking back now, I should have kind of thought about that aspect. I mean, obviously circuits are in our world for real, but they're not necessarily, I didn't present them with a problem that would be real world for them. So obviously they can relate to the problem because they do have circuits throughout their entire, home and everything. But ideally where I was really looking at focusing on with them was a lot of the purposeful teamwork and the communication part. I mean, we've been practicing that all year, so it was really great to see that they were able to show how effective partnerships work or group work works overall. So I was very happy with what I saw, especially this late in the year. So hope you enjoy.